Live Healthy is brought to you by Kirk Supermarket and Pharmacy.
And on this week's Live Healthy, we are going to focus on soups. And of course, Andrea, nutritionist here at Kirk Supermarket, is going to tell us more about the health benefits of soup.
Well, you know what? I mean, a lot of people look to soup as a quick, convenient meal, whether that's lunch or dinner. A lot of people are really busy, and a good old can of soup sometimes really helps, right? Of course, you know, when we think about canned soups, I don't know about you, but the first thing that often comes to mind for me is
Sodium?
Sodium, right. So you really do need to look at that nutrition facts label today, Delise, and we're definitely going to be doing that and testing some of these soups out. But you know, you could see, like, for the most part, you know, like Campbell's, for example, they have a lot of little indications that they might be low in fat and cholesterol, and some of them have that sort of certified from the American Heart Association, and it gives you some great idea. Now, going down here though, you can even see 25% less sodium, but there are some rules we want to go by, and we'll look at some of them on some other soups. But you know, case in point, let's just, you know, pull this one. Generally, what you're looking at, calories.
Right.
They should be under 250 per serving. Okay, so this one does follow that rule for us. And what we also need to note here is we have more than one serving in this whole soup.
So that you have to time that by 2.
By 2.5 if you're having the whole can,
right?
So going on to here, fat grams, it should be under 3 grams per serving.
Well, that
Unfortunately,
fails.
this one totally fails us, yes. Going on to fiber for that fill. Fiber, it's going to indicate that there's vegetables in here and it's going to keep you full longer.
Okay.
So you want this to be at least 3 grams or more.
Okay.
This one unfortunately doesn't make it. And then our sodium, under 600 milligrams for our blood pressure watchers out there.
Well, the funny thing about this is on the front of the can, it says 25% less sodium.
Yes, and that's why, you know, it's important to not only look at the title page of a book, but to read what it's all about,
right?
You know, in the back.
Once again,
so let's
watch the labels.
Yeah, let's look at some of these other ones as we kind of come across here. Now, do you use any of these?
I tend to probably use Campbell's more so.
Okay.
But when cooking, I always try to make my own soup, and I use chicken stock.
Okay, well, great. Well, you know what? This is actually a staple in my kitchen as well, although I always stick with the unsalted so that I can season it to my desired likeness. So it's always good to even make your own with any of these things on hand. Then you can add your vegetables, your beans, really beef it up. Now, just going down here to like Healthy Choice, for example, if we pull one up here, now, Healthy Choice, anything labeled healthy should indicate that it is lower in sodium compared to some other brands.
Okay.
So if we look at this, we have serving size is 1 cup. We have 2 in here. So if we're having the whole thing, we're going to times by 2.
Again.
But for now, the rules are per serving. What are we looking at? Calories should be under 250. Passes? Yes. Total fat should be under 3 grams. Good. Okay, our sodium under 600 milligrams, great. And fiber should be at least 3 grams or more.
So
this
that
one passes it.
That's a check.
That is a check. So a lot of Healthy Choice do pass. This brand over here, the V8 Campbell's, all pass as well. So good one for people out there, whether you're a, you know, corn, a squash, or a broccoli gal. Now, if you wanted to add some protein here for a bit more staying power, you know, shredding up a little bit of leftover chicken, or maybe even adding, you know, a tin of chickpeas or lentils drained and rinsed kind of thing, right?
All right.
So moving on here, I don't know if you're familiar with Amy's. Are you familiar with Amy's?
I am not.
Okay.
But it looks nice.
Yeah, Amy's is great. It's an organic brand. I love her soups. Now you'll see on one end I've got some regular ones, and on the far end over there you'll see an orange band around some of these other ones that say light in sodium.
Okay.
So let's pull one off and let's do our test. Okay. 250 or less, great.
Perfect.
Under 3 grams, yes. Under 600 milligrams,
Most
absolutely.
definitely,
And okay, well, 2 grams of fiber, we're looking for 3 or more. Pretty close. A lot of these other ones do contain them, especially if we're looking at something like a lentil, would certainly have that fiber in it.
Okay.
The point, I guess, is you want people to start reading those labels. Here's another wonderful one, the Imagine line. These are all really great. A lot of people aren't big on canned soups anymore. They're really looking for the Tetra Packs. And these down here, now I can't say that all of them follow the sodium rule.
Okay.
Okay, but they certainly all follow the other ones.
Now, as it pertains to someone like me who is watching their weight and is kind of concerned about sodium and water retention.
Right. Okay. Good point. Good point. So for somebody like you, I would still say really try to follow the 600 milligram or less rule when you're choosing your soups.
Okay.
And you know what? This is where you really want your vegetable group to really shine through. If you're going a little heavy on some higher sodium foods, really beef up the vegetables and the fruits. And by doing that, you really counterbalance a lot of that extra salt.
Okay.
Okay.
Any last words for viewers out there as it pertains to sodium intake, especially when it comes to canned goods like soup?
You know what? No matter what, even if the label says healthy, turn it over, look at the sodium, make sure you go by the rules that I mentioned. And as long as you can continue to read those labels and make sure that you know what you're eating, that's definitely where people want to start.
The
That's
labels,
key.
the labels.
Read the labels.
Read the labels.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Andrea, once again.
Thanks, Delisa.
All right, everyone, don't forget, every Thursday right here on Daybreak, we get a little Live Healthy with Andrea Hill. And don't go away, there is more Daybreak coming up after the break. Please stay with us.
Live Healthy is brought to you by Kirk Supermarket and Pharmacy.